The women's 400-meter hurdles at the Boris Hanžeković Memorial in Zagreb lined up one of the most competitive international fields of the season. Jamaica's Rushell Clayton, Belgium's Paulien Couckuyt, Portugal's Fatoumata Binta Diallo, American veteran Shamier Little. 4 athletes capable of running under 54 seconds on their best day. What you are about to see is not a runaway race from the gun. It is closer than the final result suggests, and the place where it is decided will surprise you. Pay close attention to what happens between barriers 6 and 9.
Shamier Little. Zagreb, from Portugal, Fatoumata Binta Diallo. Zagreb, record della Croce, numero poi numero di Barcellona. Eva Zagreba. Poczekał do kara 9 metra na pole, status verde, ma zapełniała. Będę sypała ile se próbujemy, jeden na Rodowi, ustawi 2, dalej od Słowenta, ustawi 6, powienica, Memorial Borysa Hanžeković, 2014 sezonie, Shamier Little, Rushell Clayton i Jamaica, upowiednik bez komentarza. Na petom miejscu Ema zapewniała, perspektywa za perspektywa. Przestaje Elena Kennedy, perspektywa 16.
La preparazione i tecnici dell'esprime facevano scoda, facevano forse giocasse di prestamenta, poi si Zagreb delle visite basso su Marco Cecco e Pratica. Restare vas queste videli Vitubardic i Zaru Kola, poi c'era Stupni, basta di Kola.
Nasza zarazżenia grają na ósmym miejscu, prezydenta należy zdecydować, mimo oba konkurencji dla programa rekord meetinga Rushell Clayton of Jamaica,
53.54 seconds. That number alone doesn't tell you why Rushell Clayton won the women's 400-meter hurdles in Zagreb. Plenty of races produce fast times from athletes who were simply in better shape that day. What happened on this track was different. Clayton didn't win because she was faster in the raw sense. She won because she lost less speed than everyone else, at every single hurdle, across all 400 meters. By the end of this breakdown, you'll understand exactly how she did it, and you'll never watch a 400-meter hurdles race the same way again. The 400-meter hurdles is one of the most technically demanding events in track and field. 10 barriers placed at 35-meter intervals across one full lap. Each one forces the athlete to interrupt a full sprint, clear a 76.2-centimeter obstacle, and immediately re-enter that sprint without losing rhythm. The athlete who manages those 10 interruptions most efficiently doesn't just win. They win by a margin that looks inevitable in replay, but was built contact by contact, stride by stride. Clayton's 53.54 at the Boris Hanžeković Memorial in Zagreb is the story of that efficiency. Off the gun, Clayton's reaction time registered at approximately 0.148 seconds, placing her in the mid-range of the field. That matters because aggressive early starters in this event often pay a physiological tax in the closing 100 meters. Clayton came out of the blocks at a controlled acceleration, reaching the first hurdle in roughly 6.1 seconds. Her approach stride pattern to hurdle one settled at 21 strides, the conventional setup for athletes of her leg speed and height, and her lead leg cleared at an angle of approximately 14 degrees above the barrier. Efficient, not spectacular, deliberately so. The section most viewers underestimate is barriers 2 through 5. This is where race shape is established invisibly. Clayton's ground contact times through this stretch were holding near 0.11 seconds per step, generating a stride frequency approaching 4.7 steps per second. What that produced was a first 200 meters of approximately 25.9 seconds. For context, an open 200-meter specialist runs that distance in under 22 seconds. Clayton is covering it while navigating 5 barriers and already calculating the back straight. That 25.9 split is the mechanical foundation of everything that follows. Here is where the race got complicated. At the 200-meter mark, Paulien Couckuyt of Belgium sat within 3 meters of Clayton, running a compact and technically clean race. Fatoumata Binta Diallo of Portugal was also in contention from lane 5. Shamier Little, the American with extensive championship experience, had taken the opening barriers aggressively and was positioned to challenge over the back straight. On paper, 3 athletes had legitimate claims on this race entering the final 200 meters. None of them could match what Clayton produced next. Barriers 6 through 8 are where 400-meter hurdles races are decided, and they're decided by a measurement most viewers never think about: trail leg recovery time. After the lead leg clears the barrier and begins its descent, the trail leg must swing through in a tight arc and land close to the body's center of mass. If the trail leg is late, the athlete loses up to 0.15 seconds per hurdle in unnecessary ground contact. Across 3 barriers, that accumulates to nearly half a second. Clayton's trail leg mechanics through hurdles 6, 7, and 8 were operating at approximately 0.38 seconds of total clearance time per barrier. That's close to the technical ceiling for this event at this speed. The strangest part of watching Clayton through this stretch is how relaxed she appears. Her shoulder angle remained close to vertical, her arm drive stayed compact, and her head position didn't shift forward, which is the classic sign of an athlete beginning to strain. Most competitors show measurable postural breakdown by barrier 7. Clayton's torso, lean at hurdle 8, was still within 2 degrees of her hurdle 1 posture. That consistency isn't cosmetic. It's the biomechanical signal that her energy systems were still operating in a controlled range, not in emergency mode. What do you think is harder to coach in this event, the hurdling technique, or the ability to maintain it under severe oxygen debt? Leave your answer in the comments, because the answer is not what most people assume. Couckuyt crossed the line in 54.32 seconds, a personal best and a genuinely strong performance. But the gap between 53.54 and 54.32 is 0.78 seconds, and virtually all of it was generated between barriers 8 and 10. Clayton's final 2 hurdle clearances didn't deteriorate. Couckuyt's did, by a measurable fraction at each. Diallo finished 3rd in 54.55, showing real progress, but conceding the race at the same section, the 9th and 10th barriers, where lactic acid accumulation forces athletes into reactive rather than deliberate technique. Little finished 4th in 55.44, having front-loaded her race more aggressively than the data supported over 400 meters. Here's the take some will push back on. Aggressive front-running in the 400 hurdles gets praised as bold strategy, but at this level, it frequently reads as poor race management dressed as confidence. The athletes who run the fastest final 100 meters in this event are almost never the ones who led at 200 meters. Clayton's patience through the first half wasn't caution. It was the calculated preservation of mechanical quality, and it produced one of the strongest closing sequences of the European season. The 10 meters after barrier 10 is called the run-in, no barriers. Pure sprint while the body is operating at maximum lactate accumulation. Clayton's run-in was approximately 4.1 seconds. An elite open sprinter at full health runs 40 meters in under 4.3 seconds fresh. Clayton ran it in equivalent time on the back of 9 hurdles and 360 meters of racing. That figure is the clearest single indicator of her conditioning level at this point in the season. What Zagreb confirmed is a technical principle that runs through every elite 400 hurdles performance. Speed is necessary, but never sufficient. The decisive variable is always efficiency of transition, how cleanly the athlete converts sprint velocity into hurdle clearance and back into sprint velocity 10 times without compounding error. Clayton's 53.54 was built on margins of roughly 0.05 to 0.08 seconds per hurdle over her nearest competitors, invisible in real time, absolute in the final result. The next time you watch this event, ignore the leaders at 200 meters. Watch the trail legs at barriers 6, 7, and 8. Watch the shoulder angle at barrier 9. Those are the frames where the race is actually decided, long before the finish line becomes visible. If this breakdown changed how you see the 400 hurdles, subscribe for more race analysis at this level. Like the video if you want us to go deeper on hurdle stride patterns in the next one, and drop a comment with the athlete or event you want broken down next.